Video, I show you how to find interest group scores for members of Congress. Start out by going to the Sawyer Library website and scroll down to Databases. When you get there, go to Find Database by Subject and scroll down until you find the social sciences, specifically political science. When you get there, you will see the CQ Congress Collection. Click on that. That takes you to the Congressional Quarterly Congress Collection right here. In the search bar, type in the name of the member of Congress who you want to look up. We will start by looking up Peter Smith. When his information pops up, which will happen in a second, we can click on his name and you will see some preliminary information about him. When he was born, his religion, his education, his political background, and then down here you see his record on key votes, his interest group ratings, and his voting scores. I want you to look at his interest group ratings. So when you click on that, you'll see the ratings that various groups gave him. So let's look at the 100 because that's probably the easiest to see. If you look at there, this is the League of Conservation Voters. We can click on more to get information about them. So we see that they're a national nonpartisan political committee to help elect conservation-minded candidates for office. It says information about how they select the issues and how they rank members of Congress. But they're looking for pro-environmental votes on issues. So if we go back and we see that he scored 100 in both 1990 and 1989, it means that he voted 100% of the time the way they wanted him to vote, versus a very low score from the ACU, which stands for the American Conservative Union. So he only voted 26% of the time the way they wanted him to vote. So what I want you to do for this memo is basically take a look at some of these scores and figure out where these members of Congress stood. You don't need to worry about specific issues, but what conclusions can you draw from this? So obviously you can draw that Peter Smith, when he was in Congress, was a pro-environmental member of Congress, and that for some reason he was not as conservative as the American Conservative Union would have liked. The ACLU is the American Civil Liberties Union, so he had a score that was higher than 50, but not 100. So look at these and think about the kind of conclusions that you can draw. And do the same thing for our other member of Congress, which is William Enyart. If we type him in, we can get his information here and get his interest group score ratings. And you see that he has a higher rating from the ACLU, a very low rating from the American Conservative Union, and a middle of the pack to above from the League of Conservation Voters. Just so you know, you can also type in members of Congress that you've probably heard of before. Let's try Nancy Pelosi. If you type in her, and we go to her interest group ratings, you see we have a lot, because she's been in Congress for so long, a lot of different numbers associated with her. So she gets very low ratings from the ACU, very high ratings from the American Civil Liberties Union, very high ratings, although not always, from the League of Conservation Voters, etc. So look up what these other ones stand for. The other thing you can do to find out information about members of Congress is look up their district information, which you can do through the census.